What up, everybody? It's Ponter here, and today we've got a very special game. And first of all, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. This will probably be coming out in 2025, but we do need to still acknowledge there were some good games played in 2024, and this is one of them. And this is unique, at least, or a little special, because it is a pub game. It's played in on the Domination map server. It's going to be basically a 6v6 and then a 7v7, and it's going to show you a lot of interesting pub-like things. It's also special because it is on Seaside, and there's been a lot of discussion on, is Seaside the best map versus is Riviera the best map. I haven't heard anything talking about Farmland, which in my opinion is the best map, but we won't get into that. It's also going to be interesting because there's a lot of Smurfs. So first of all, like, I don't know who any of these people are. So there's the map, or the replay itself was given by Oshrink or something. I don't know. He's named on Discord. He's named Oshrink, which is the Russian intermediate range ballistic missile that was fired into a Ukrainian city. I think that's what that guy was named after. And then this is Yakuta. My guess is it's General X. Just look at this loadout at the start. The double light tanks and the medium tank and the APC going to this flank. That's classic General X. I also don't know who this Gork is or Grok is. I think that's Dexter. Again, they're a good infantry player. So it's going to be a little fun mini game is to try to figure out who's who. And now watch this cap. And this is a mistake by Pepperball. First of all, I think they stopped in the smoke for a moment and they didn't get here in time to prevent the cap. And then they belatedly decapped, which is the worst thing you can do. And literally, if this team can get this, we're going to watch this very closely. If they can get a nice quick cap of the town, it's basically GG already. So Grok goes, and we're going to watch this interesting inf micro here. Like, he's going to get into the buildings, but also stay on the points somehow. Just look at this. I guess he's slowly getting into the building, but manages to get the cap there after they kill Pepperball's medium. So right there, that's a double cap. This guy's got 30 TA in his hand. What's he gonna do with it? A double gas. And there's another theme we're gonna be seeing. There's gonna be so much gas used in this. Like, we're gonna have the gas counter up. That's the first two. You know, everybody keep that in mind. And I can just tell Kickapoo is gonna be seething this game just with the amount of gas he's getting hit with. And also, like, he's gassing his own guys too. Like, this guy's getting gassed. These drops are getting dropped into the gas. Just ruthless. Ruthless behavior. But war crimes, whatever. You love to see it. Now, what we're also seeing is two very competent armor players. So we're going to watch Zero and Yakuta's heavies go to work this game. And the reason why they're going to have to go to work, and the reason why they're able to go to work, is the terrible airplay on both teams. And I think this is relevant for when we're talking about, okay, we add another one to the gas counter. Another reason, you know, one of the reasons why I'm so skeptical of balanced discourse is because of the skill differences and the way the skill differences change kind of the meta strategy and what can be done in games. Basically, both teams have terrible air. Like, these guys have Butterbrat, who's terrible at air. Sorry. This guy's a complete noob. This Fraggeist, terrible air. And then this team has Spirit Gun, also terrible air. Sorry, Spirit Gun, but you know, you need to go and practice and bot some more. Change your hands, like, get, you know, and your hotkeys and stuff, and, you know, become good at air. So just terrible air on both teams. And this allows Studerball to cover two armor players even though he's playing greedy, like he's got a repair tank going pretty much the whole game. And these guys are able to rank up. Like there's 4 ranked up heavies in the middle of town, just beating down everything. And then okay, this is gas number 5. And this one's from Grok, so everybody's just doing the gas game. And like, I get, like, these are good gases, honestly. They're saving the build, they're preserving the buildings for the other team's double armor, but they're just obliterating all these tightly grouped inf. So that's good stuff. But yeah, these heavy tanks, like, there's 1 AA, like, covering, okay, maybe there's like 1.5 AAs covering these heavy tanks, and they're not being punished. And instead they're punishing everything. And oh my god, Pepperball, another terrible decap. What are you doing, man? So these are not being punished. So, and like, if this was a normal like match mode where there's like Kid A and Wally on one team, these heavy tanks would all be dead immediately. And you know, Studerball would have to, you know, change how he's playing, you know. So the double heavy armor is just not a viable strategy just in most of the games that I've played in the last few years, because there's always just a wicked good air player BTFOing everything. And oh my god, Tuna, you better not decap this. Doesn't decap, thank god. And those strategies like double armor have just completely fallen by the wayside. Vice versa, like double armor can actually do so much damage that you can get away with having terrible air. So it's kind of a weird, it's pretty weird. It's a weird matchup, but you don't see it very often. So that's kind of a nice, unique thing. And just notice the armor players, and this is a good thing you can learn. Like, don't do this. Don't have this heavy tank here ever. Like, if Whisk is in the mix, this guy's getting TB'd. Really, like, you should be in these firing lanes, but you should be moving constantly. Like, good, thank God he moved. Because, like, look at all these ranked up teams. Crazy. And their strategy is just kind of ignoring. Like, notice this team has given up pushing town. They realize, like, oh my god, we're decapping town too much. We can't get a position in there. Our infantry player keeps getting gassed, so we can't get a forward position. And look how greedy these tanks are. Like, they're getting pushed so far forward with no support at all. Meanwhile, the air players are just out to lunch. Like, I don't know what these guys are thinking. How can this tank better get killed right now? Please. Like, look how overextended they are. Like, Studerball knows how overextended they are, and he's dropping. Okay, yeah, thank god they're getting. Like, this should have happened so much longer. But in response to the hammering they're getting in town, okay, I take it back. Like, I thought this team was completely going on beach, but another terrible decap by Pepperball. Like, this guy is trolling at this point. Like, how many useless decaps? Like, I understand decapping town, like, you know, you're losing, but oh, like, drop a fab here and then do the decap, you know, or do the decap, drop the fab, and then when the whole team is like running to cluster on this point to get the TA, then they all die, and it's a super genius move. Instead, they're getting nuked, and this is what happens. Like, this is classic. This is actually a good response by Zero. Like, oh man, we've been decapped in town. They're actually pushing town now. We're gonna drop a nuke, and they won't be able to follow this up. And you know, this nuke is kind of a whiff. Like, there isn't that much there. I think Zero assumed that there was a lot more there. But what this does is now they're gonna have to. They want to reinforce this and kind of improve their position in town. You know, they're gonna have to drive through nuclear fire to do so, and that's not gonna be fun for them. So, like this team, and this is why I think a lot of the critiques, if I was gonna critique Seaside, is it's so snowbally. It's just brutally snowbally. Like, you don't get those first cap, or if you let the other team do like a dirty decap in the early game, then they can just hurl that TA back in your face, and you'll never be able, like, they're doing all that gas, like they were never able to establish a position and get that virtuous cycle going. And okay, here comes the nuke. This is what they should have, you know, this nuke is like a minute late, but like that nuke should have been following at 12:30. As soon as that terrible situation in town happens, this whole USA team has to be like, okay, pool for the nuke, you know, just don't decap the town anymore, guys. Don't even go into the town. Just play defensive. Try to hold the flanks to prevent the bleed, and then nuke the town, and then you can start, start the comeback. And just hold all your TA for the comeback. But I don't know, maybe they just didn't generate a lot of TA. Looking at the scores, I mean, yeah, like the score differential is brutal on this. Just more gas. This is like gas number 8, I think, or 7 or 8. They're kind of, these are, I don't know if they're gonna get that one inf in the woods. And if Kickapoo is microing, he should be able to get in trouble. Yeah, easily. So these are kind of whiffy gases. Like, I don't know about, like, it kills one in for like 20 TA. Not the greatest. Not the greatest use of TA. USA's comeback is real though. Like, their nuke did its job. And once again, this inf player has just given up in town. Like, he lost everything, so he's establishing this big juicy flank position. The air though, like, why isn't this air diving the town where it's like so poorly defended by Studerball? These guys are just so shit. You're so bad at air. Like, steaming mad. And like, this guy's like spawn raping instead of taking town. Like, these heavies should be dead. The heavy should be dead, and then the lights could easily take town. Like, Tuna's conga line of lights, and like they're dropping it already on the slate. Like, where's the combined arms here, guys? And instead, more gas and more heavy arty. Like, these are good heavy arties by Spirit Gun. We'll see if he times this right. So yeah, what you should be doing is sitting here, preventing the cap. Yep. That's really good. Sanitize the area with your heavy arties. That's what the air should be doing. And this is ruthless by Studerball, burning what is probably their woods. Stealing the woods from your own inf player. That's cruelty. Very cruel. But yeah, where's the air contesting this? Like, there's not a single AA in town. The air doesn't contest it. Oof. So bad. So bad on these teams. So, like, classic pub situation. A suboptimal strategy is not being punished. What can you do here? What can you do? Play better air, and then suddenly really greedy strats with the double tanks doesn't work so well. Like, if you compare this, like, in all the match modes we've been playing in the last little while, it's so, like, the air is so dominant that you're forced to go double support in some situations or get medium air because the air is so potent. Like, you would never be doing, this is like gas number 10, like 9 or 10 at least. You never be doing stuff like double armor in like kind of a modern match mode game because of the air. But you can get away with it here because these guys are so shit. What are you doing, Spirit Gun? Is he ignoring the light tank conga line? Is that what he's doing? He's got 2 scouts. so bad. Oh man. They killed a unit. I hear yet another unsupported decap by Pepperball. There's 3 heavy tanks in town. There's 3 of them. There's not a single heavy anti-air. Like, I say that this is a good game. Like, this is posted in the Discord implying that it's a good game. But this is some just terrible shit. Like, look what's going on here, guys. Like, this guy's finally gonna go into town. He's already lost all his missiles. Oh my god. Like, this heavy tank is just sitting there. It's gonna get a devious cap. Crushing infantry, killing light tanks. This guy's instead hovering around a medium tank, getting smoked by a single anti-air. And this guy is just dicking around, getting shot up by dudes in the woods. Unbelievable. This is gas number like 10 or 11 now. Great stuff. Great stuff, guys. Real brain trust of airplay right here. 3 highly ranked up heavies sitting in town, unsupported, still. Some say they're still unsupported. And this is like gas number, this is Grok's gas. This is gas probably the number like 13 or 14 maybe. That's a lot of gas, guys. And yeah, this guy is just not capping. I think he's getting sniped. I mean, this is a case like, oh, the sniper's just in the crease between the two gases. And yeah, and Kickapoo is just pissed. I don't know what he's pissed at. There's a lot of things that I would be pissed at if I was Kickapoo. Like, I'd be pissed at all the gassing. Like, this is gas. Like, assuming that was, like, this is gas 16, I think, at least, at this point. And like, I would have done heavy arties. Like, because gas doesn't affect these blobs of heavy tanks or light tanks and repair tanks, and it still kills infantry just as good. So really questionable play here. Good stuff by Grok just to defend this. Like, he's just putting 100% of his reinforcement points into defending this point. Like, why not? Like, I would have a few less shitheads, and so I can put some APCs in the town and to have some. Okay, so that's what he's doing. Then now he's just gonna leg infantry. Sure. And just no proper combined arms effort. And this is why I think guys like J-Man really like Seaside, and this is why I'll defend Seaside a little bit. Getting the three-pointer is so difficult, especially on the USA side. Like, the USA has to do so much, and the USSR has to do a lot as well to cap the town. And you need complete, perfect, exquisite micro by everybody, by the armor players, by the infantry players, by the support players, by the air players. Like, everybody has to be working together so hard, and it's so unforgiving. Like, if you fuck it up, it's GG. So it's so important to pull off the town caps, and no other map has that. Like, Riviera does not have such an importance on combined arms, doing everything properly as a team, because there's no that, you don't have that critical mass fighting over like such an important point in Riviera. Like, you don't really have that on any maps other than Seaside. So that alone, I think, and then you still have the fun flanks, shenanigans in the woods. Like, you have everything that you have on Riviera, but you also have this insane, important fight in the middle. And look at this comeback by USA. They do the right thing. That second nuke really, or maybe that was their first nuke. I don't know. That nuke. Oh no, it was their second nuke. Really helped out. But this is like Zero, who did the early. Zero already nuked, I think, or was that Grok? I don't fucking. I think it was Zero who did it. So Zero's dropping their second nuke of the game, and it's just devastating. Like, it just kills this whole push, and just brutalizes their tick lead. And maybe that's a strike against Seaside, but like, these nukes are just game changer. But I think if USA had saved for the nuke earlier, they would have been in better shape. USA could have done a lot of different stuff, and just, again, like, no support in town at all. Air is dicking around on the flanks. Inexcusable, guys. Throw yourselves on your swords. Like, Air really is losing this for the USA side. And Spirit Gun's not doing much better. Like, terrible play out of him, for the most part. I mean, he's doing what he should, is defending the town against these lights. But he's not doing what he should do in terms of, like, driving right into blobs of AA. He flared out of that pretty well. And yeah, this is what armor is reduced to on this map, which is just spamming. And, like, again, both like Riviera and Seaside will end in this spammy light tanks. Like, you're constantly hitting L and changing your spawn and trucking, like, light tanks to the flank, and then changing your spawn again and trucking light tanks to the middle, and then changing your spawn over here and trucking light tanks over here, and then, oh, everything's dead at the beach, I gotta do it again. You do the same thing on Riviera for the most part, so there isn't much difference in terms of, like, everything is reduced to spam. Like, it is what it is in these kind of matches. And finally, Air is in town, like, the rare Air town. Like, Studerball is just blobbing with medium anti-airs on the flanks. Like, he was doing this the entire game. If the Air just had rubbed their two brain cells together and said, like, why don't we just kill all these overextended heavy tanks that are ranked up, battering us in town? This game would have been a lot different. Like, maybe they would have gotten, if they had just gotten, like, a nice town tick going for a little bit longer, like, this tick advantage would be a lot closer, and then we'd have maybe a more exciting game. I'm curious on what Yakuda or R-Shrink or, like, whoever this person is, like, I'm assuming is Gen X. I wonder what they were trying to get at when they posted this, because this doesn't make me think pubs are funner. Like, this kind of just pisses me off at how bad the pubs are. I mean, it's still great, guys. It's great that these games were played, like, in the holiday season of 2024, even though, people are coping about how dead the game is. Like, we got 14 people in a server going ham on each other. But this doesn't make me think that pubs are superior to match modes at all. Like, I think it's kind of driving home the point that, pubs are still a mess. Finally, we get some concentration. This is gas, like, number 20 for the road. There was, like, gas in the woods, too. Oh, just a crazy interesting game. Zero basically got best tactical aid by dropping 2 nukes. Yakuda had a monster game, like, most enemy damage as armor. That's just showing how bad the air players are. All these air players, hand your wings in. You're stuck playing armor or something, or go to the bots and, like, practice, because y'all are shit. Yakuda with the massive command points scoring, really telling. Like, those 2 caps early in the game really sealed the deal. And then this team was not able to pepperball shameful decaps, whoever you are, because you're not Studerball. Like, I thought this was a Studerball smurf, but I was wrong. And a good showing from Grok. Tough game for Kickapoo. Really tough. Like, I'm sure you were just pissed off this whole game because your team fed TA, and then their team just dumped all of that TA that they got fed in gas on you. Like, I've never seen so many gases in a Seaside game. It's actually a thing of beauty. And yeah, and Frenok with the best support, even though Studerball was doing the greediest shit this entire game, still got outscored by Frenok. On the losing side too, very interesting. But yeah, that's a GG. That's probably the last game. This is coming out in the new year, guys. So I hope you guys had a good new year. Hope you guys had a good Christmas and holiday season. And I've been super busy and unable to play, but hopefully I'll be able to play some games. Even these deplorable pubs. Like, I need to come in here and show these guys how to play air in a pub game. Because this is just terrible stuff. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. See you in the new year and later.